What happens when the edgelord has more than enough chances to get out of a mess? Let me describe the situation. So I'm DMing, and things are going well so far. 4 to 5 sessions in, the party enters a big city. One player, who I shall call Edgelord, was a Yuan-ti pure-blood druid who worshipped an insane spider god from the desert. So there is a big market going on. There's a big festival where all the traders are getting together to sell their goods from distant lands. It was originally an excuse to introduce the players to how much diversity there was in my magical items generator, while giving them a chance to buy some weak magic items and observe some strong ones, as well as buying weapons, ammo, spells, and such. The rogue goes and steals from the poor stalls, farmers mostly. The ranger goes looking for a new bow and more arrows. The barbarian doesn't really do much, but follows the ranger. Edgelord Druid goes to the exotic animals trader, and he wants a pet displacer beast or a big cat. I knew there was no way he could afford one, assuming they even have one, let alone train and not get eaten by it. I roll for rarity of animals. 13. They have a tiger, a panther, and a jaguar. He wants the panther. Merchant wants 1,000 gold for it. Player tries to haggle. He has 8 gold. In his defense, he made a good argument and rolled well. Trader was happy to take 800 gold. Edgelord turns around and starts cutting the ropes holding the panther's cage shut. Merchant is like, "What are you doing? Stop! It's a hungry wild animal in a crowded market." Edgelord continues. Merchant pushes Edgelord. Edgelord continues. Merchant punches and shouts for the guards. Edgelord stops and slashes the merchant. This was in the biggest market in the country, on the busiest day of the year, in the capital of said country. Commoners have low hit points, so enough damage was done to take him out. I tried to DM in player's favor, not to derail. Guy is on the floor, bleeding to death. I let Edgy know that the guy can still be saved. Edgelord kneels down to the guy and then stabs him right in his face. Many people are now shouting for the guards. 12 guards, all in chainmail, short swords, and I hate doing plot armor, but they have buffed AC and have much more health. I want them to subdue Edgelord while making it harder for him to commit further crimes. After attempting to fight them, he has a dagger and no armor at all. He finally gets captured and taken to the dungeon in the central castle. I go back to the other players who want to play seriously for a bit. They wonder where Snake Jerk went, but shrug it off since the character was always distant and has only known them for a few days. Next day, guards come in and ask what's going on. He rolls deception, 18, claims he is an assassin from the Tiefling Nation. Bounty hunting is legal here, and the merchant had a bounty. Guards ask for proof. He pulls out some 500-year-old scroll with abyssal on it. It's his druid focusy thing, and says this is the bounty and permission to kill the merchant. Guards leave, and we go back to the party doing normal stuff. Later, he is taken to another room. 2 people are sitting at the table, both formally dressed and very official looking. One is a tiefling. The other asks the same questions, and Edgelord repeats while getting another good deception roll. He pulls out the scroll. Tiefling looks over it and shakes his head. Spoiler, he can read abyssal. Edgelord, in his infinite wisdom, jumps over the table and starts beating up the tiefling. Guards rush in and take him back to his cell. Session ends with the players hearing about some terrorist execution. I gave them favorable conditions to get out of trouble, then favorable conditions to lessen his trouble, then conditions to not get his neck relieved from his head. His final words before the execution were, Forget this, I'm out. Good riddance. Edgelord was given enough chances to get out of the situation, but it seems that Edgelord always picked the hard way. At least this problem, in a way, solved itself. Edgelord ended up finding out that actions have consequences. What do you all think about this situation?